like their jobs and are happy with them, but only 20% are passionate about their jobs. Likewise, only 49% of Americans are very satisfied with their work. And by the way, the high job satisfaction is because the job provides a higher meaning or a higher salary for them. 30% or 100 million American workers are somewhat satisfied with their jobs. The top reason that Americans are unsatisfied with their jobs or their work or their career is income. But remote workers report higher levels of job satisfaction than in-house workers. 61% of Americans want to leave their jobs, and about 54% are ready to leave if they were offered a higher salary paid position. Where do you fit in all these statistics? Well, let's first discover these positions where over 90% of the employees report higher meaning. Clergy, English language and literature teacher. I've done that before, and I must say it was very fulfilling. One of my most exciting jobs I had, well, actually the most exciting job I had when I worked for someone else. Surgeons, don't think that's for me. I don't think I can keep a calm head in a surgical room. Elementary education administrators, playing with kids all day sounds exciting. Radiation therapists, I think we get enough radiation with our cell phones. Chiropractors, not into cracking bones, no thank you. Psychiatrists, dealing with psychotic people all day is not for me. Anesthesiologists, not ready to go under. Rehabilitation counselors, I like the counseling part. Rehabilitating takes work, effort, tenacity, and endurance. Occupational therapists. That's interesting, but there are some positions I just am not interested in. Kindergarten teachers, that must be exciting and fun. All these activities for the kids all day, and you actually relearn things. I mean, if you have kids and they come home and they teach you all these things, guess what I learned today, Mommy? Guess what I learned today, Daddy? And it would be astounding stuff that either you forgot or never knew. I think it's exciting. And epidemiologists. I think I have to look that one up. Not sure what that means. But those in clergy have the highest job satisfaction at 90%. I knew this was the right position. Cafeteria attendants, parking lot attendants, dry cleaning workers have the lowest levels of job satisfaction at an average of 40%. That might explain why when I was younger and I got my food in cafeteria style, that some of the workers behind the tables, they would just shove the food up there. They wouldn't have any kind of happy smile, happy face, happy spirit. They seemed like they were in a mood all the time. Parking lot attendant, maybe because they have no one to talk to all day, they just have people coming and going. I can understand that. Dry cleaning workers, that's interesting. I know of 3, and all 3 of them seem to be very pleased and happy with their work, and some of them even have friends that they talk to while they're working. So, didn't realize that. But young adults between 18 and 34 are the least satisfied with their work. Only 31% feeling completely satisfied with their work. But workers age 50 to 64 are the most content with their work, with 63 of respondents between 50 and 64 consider their job a career, while only 49% just report complete satisfaction with their work. Maybe because they reached a stage of maturity in their life where they have chosen with their pleased with or passionate about, and they have settled with that. Whereas the youth probably feel they're still figuring it out. You're probably trying to figure out where I fit in all that. I'm ageless, so I'm in no group. Any job that pays over $75,000 per year report 49% of the people being satisfied. I would be too. Job satisfaction is the lowest among people who make less than $30,000 annually. I'd feel the same way. 7 million Americans are stuck in part-time jobs which they feel are dead end. I hope that's not you. But on average, and a good note, satisfied and happy workers are 13% more productive in their line of work. Here are some factors that influence job satisfaction, and see if they're the same for you. Respect, meaningfulness, salary, autonomy, opportunity, and recognition. If you're interested, the link below is where I got all the information, and I bring up these job satisfaction stats because, and perhaps a family business is more fulfilling. Let's take a look at those stats and see if that's true. Well, let's define what family business means today. It's where 2 or more family members operate within the business and complete ownership and control is within the family. That is the family business definition today. Biblically, it means all of the family members are involved in the family business and they own it. So, the percentage of family business-owned companies or organizations or ministries in the workforce today are at 60% in the U.S. 1.2 million family-owned businesses are with a husband and wife. How endearing. Aww. 28.8 are small businesses that are family-owned, or 19% in the U.S. So let's get deeper into these statistics of family-owned businesses. 30% of family businesses survive the transition from first to second generation ownership. 12% survive the transition from second to third generation. And only 13% of family-owned businesses remain in the family over 60 years. And that's interesting because some of the products I buy in the grocery store, it says family owned since 1800 something. That is an anomaly according to these statistics. Wow. But 49% of family owned businesses expect to retire in 5 years and they do not have a successor. How sad. If you're in a family-owned business or considering one, here are some good practices you can focus on in order to establish this business. Good governance is where it's controlled by a board or a third party that supervises how the family business is run. And currently there's only 94% of family-owned firms have this model. So if you're considering that model and don't have it already, or if you do have it but do not have this in place, you might want to consider having a supervisory or just a board to govern the operations of your business. The next item you can do is focus on the next generation. You just heard the statistics on how many don't have a successor and many do not transition from one generation to another. The percentage is very low. So start thinking of your successor now. Over 40% of companies include a younger family member on the board and committee to nurture the business and develop management skills. Now, I think that's so wise because I know an actor that inherited his father's business, and because he was an actor and he wasn't trained in that business, it went out of business, and I felt bad for him because that was his inheritance, and he just let it go because he had no business skills. He had no skill set to run the place. And so it's better to think about these things before than think magically when you transition that the next generation is going to know how to run it if they do not have the implementation of practices in place, the habit of practice. They're not going to know. So this is good that some companies do this, but the percentage of 40 is kind of low. It should be over 90% because that's how the business is going to survive. Family-owned firms are customer and employee oriented. At 74%, these companies report stronger values and culture within that family business when those things are highly valued. If you're interested in more information, the resource that I use for these stats will be also in the description box. Now, these are the stats today. We can look at biblically how family businesses were implemented, treated, and passed down from generation to generation. The king of Tyre was a lumber trader and general contractor that did business with both David and Solomon. Later, the same king helped with the rebuilding of the temple, as it was not forgotten that he was an established family business. Likewise, the priest and the son of the priest were to keep the ministry of the priesthood of the Lord. A genealogy was kept, and if their names were not in the genealogy, they were not included in the priesthood. That was kept in the family business. The prophets and the sons of prophets were set up to do likewise. Both, unfortunately, two separate families of non-functional sons destroyed that, and now chosen sons from an established prophet became the prophets. In fact, 9 times does the word record this truth: the sons of the prophets, or B'nai HaBanim, as Samuel, one of the first prophets, because Moses was a prophet too, had established and oversaw a training place for those with the gift of prophecy. 1 Samuel 19:20 says, "And Saul sent messengers to take David, and when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying, and Samuel standing as appointed over them, the Spirit of God was upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied." If you're interested in how to regain job, career, vocational satisfaction, and how you cannot become one of these statistics and actually implement and place something fulfilling and passionate, stay tuned to our Sabbath studies, where I will be revealing the mysteries of this secret.